Good morning. We're just barely still in the morning. It's 11:24. Ah, I got up so late today. I have coffee. I moved from there to here because the backup is happening. And the backup runs, it's just annoying and you can just hear it in the background. And that's just annoying. Coffee. I've made a mixture here. I put some cocoa in. Didn't put any sugar in. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. And there. Ta-da. Why did I get up late this morning? Because we got in late last night because we went away yesterday. Yesterday was Gio's 100th day. And if you're Korean, that is a day to celebrate. So we drove to Waterloo, met up with Mimi's mom and her husband. We went to Korean restaurant, barbecue restaurant, and we had Korean barbecue, which is really fun because you sit there and you cook your own food. It had gotten really cold by the time and it rained. So it was just not a nice night. It was a nasty night. But yeah, we got there. We parked at the library in Waterloo. It was late because we got there just at 6 o'clock. And so we had to walk a little bit of a distance because there's no parking around there. Really hard to park in Waterloo. And I had the idea of making a video there, but I just never got around to it. There were a lot of people there, mainly students. And yeah, it just didn't happen. I regret that. I thought of it while I was there, and it just never happened. Yeah, so I had, being as Koreans really like beef, and I didn't think that was a good idea. I had the vegan option. It was not a vegetarian option, it was vegan, which is fine. So I had a lot of, well, I had some tofu, I had squash, I had seaweed, I had mushrooms. What else was in there? It was very good. Mm. Unfortunately, Philip, who's Mimi's stepfather, Mimi's mom's husband, yeah, had just cracked a tooth. and been to the dentist and had things worked on and needed drugs. So he couldn't even eat. So there we were, this big table full of food, and he couldn't eat any. It was very unfortunate. I object. Usually I get one purple, and the rest are either yellow or orange or red. One purple. Only once in all the years of eating this have I ever gotten a whole package full of purples. Once. Of course, that's because I get it from Costco, where it's cheaper, and not from, say, Zehrs, where they have the fruit, the berry option, as well as the mixed option. Costco only has the mixed option. So I have to suffer. Right. Yeah, so it's kind of neat. I mean, I've eaten at a table barbecue here because they have their own, very Korean, but never at a whole restaurant full of tables with barbecues. Gio was so good, didn't cry at all. So we went from the barbecue restaurant to a place right next door, which was a dessert place where we got Korean, it's a shaved ice dessert. And it's totally different from the ice desserts that we have. We have, what is it that we have? Crushed ice? Yeah. But this is different. This is shaved. That's amazing. It's still ice, but really cool. Really cool. So, yeah, we had that. It was really good. And Mimi's mom walked around the whole restaurant, the whole ice cream shop. I'll call it that just for better, lack of a better word. And she and Gio just hung around with everyone. I guess she didn't want any of the dessert. Well, it was nice that Philip was able to have the dessert. By that time, his freezing had worn off, I think, and he's not supposed to eat. But I think because it's basically just water, I don't know. I think I saw him eating. Whatever, doesn't matter. We had fun. We had fun. And then we walked back. Then we walked back to the library, got the car, drove home, changed a diaper at the library outside because everything was closed. Then he had a blow. I heard it. And I thought, I think he's just had a blowout, but I was not sure because we were talking and it was just a vague sound that I heard. I think it was blowout. And then he wouldn't stop crying. I mean, he was crying a lot in the car. By that time, he was overtired and just one big crank, and nothing would help. So we pulled over at a Costco in the parking lot, and Mimi nursed him. She thought that was it. But then she realized that he had a blowout. So he needed a diaper change in the middle of a parking lot, Costco parking lot. Empty, of course. And cold, windy, yeah, just not nice. He was sleeping by the time we got home. Yeah, finally he started sleeping. It was not an easy drive home, though. And then on the drive home, I learned lots of things that I didn't realize while I was at the restaurant. See, I don't understand Korean. My son understands a smidgen of Korean. And Mimi and her mom talk in Korean a lot, even though Mimi's not perfect in Korean anymore, or never was, she claims. But anyway, that's what they mainly talk in. And not that Mimi's mom does not speak English. She speaks fairly good English. But yeah, they were talking. And I guess Mimi's mom drinks a bit. And she was drunk, apparently. But since I can't understand the language, I can't hear what the drunken speech, right? And usually you can tell, well, I didn't see that she was, being tipsy. I didn't. So she seemed fine to me. She wasn't that bad. But apparently she was being, according to Mimi, annoying, perhaps even obnoxious. Thank goodness for the language barrier. She seemed fine to me. And Philip wasn't there a lot because, for one thing, he couldn't eat, right? So he was walking around a lot, being outside, getting fresh air, stuff like that. But anyway, it was a nice evening. Yeah, so I heard about that on the way home. And Mimi was saying she saw how her mom was treating me. I said, I'm used to that. I just ignore that. You know, she wasn't treating me in a certain way, but Mimi thought she was. But I'm used to it. And I survived. We all survived. And it's all good. We're on day 101 now. Apparently, it's a very big thing. Apparently, in Korea, it used to be that if you had just had a child, you didn't leave the house for 100 days. Child nor you left the house for 100 days. I guess that's a way of avoiding getting other people's germs. Anyway, he was introduced to lots of germs last night, I guess. Whole restaurant full of breathing and all that the gas from the fires. Not propane. It was maybe it was. Yeah, because they're not natural gas. They're from units on the table. So I don't know. Anyway, it was an experience, if nothing else.